Hey everybody, Kyle here. Today I am not doing a battle video. I'm doing a lot of breeding. I noticed that there were a couple things my team was missing, and so I'm filling those holes to make my team a little more rounded. But I wanted to do a 3-part series on immunities, something that I know that new players need to know, and that they don't always. Not necessarily, well, both. New to Gen 6 and new to Pokemon in general. Even on the ranked servers, I have ran into a few people who, though some of them might have been misclicks, it does happen often enough that there is a chance that people just don't understand the new type immunities that come in Gen 6. I'm going to break this series so the episodes are going to be small. I want them to be organized and ready to go, so I'm going to have 3 short videos. They're going to come together, and it's made the Type Immunities series. The first one, this episode, is going to be explaining the new Gen 6 type immunities, which I'll get to in a moment. The second video is going to be explaining immunities by element, such as flying being immune to ground, not just resistant, etc. And the third one is going to be immunities by abilities, and that's probably going to be the longest episode, because as you can see where it says ability white smoke for this Torkoal, some abilities, such as Levitate, also give you immunities to certain elements and types of attacks. And there's a lot more of those than just simple type immunities. So that episode will be the last one, and a little longer. I'm probably going to do these in order, 1, 2, 3, but not... Or of course I'm going to do them in order. I might just do these for the next 3 days. I'm not sure. I am in the middle of my work week, so it's taking a lot of time from me. But we're going to jump right into it. So, for those of you who are just starting into Gen 6, or for those of you who are just starting into Pokemon in general, this is something that's new to Gen 6, and is going to affect you if you want to be playing competitive. It's something you definitely need to know, and that wasn't a problem before this generation. So, starting here with this Torkoal, you see Torkoal is a fire type. Now, Will-O-Wisp, or Burn, I should say, the Burn effect lowers your attack by 50%, I believe, and it causes you, it causes you to take set damage every turn at the very end. Now, Pokemon that are fire type, whether they're solid fire like Torkoal or if they have fire mixed in, such as the Fire Flying on Talonflame, those Pokemon cannot be burned in any way. Not by Will-O-Wisp, not by Fire Blast, not by Flame Orb. They cannot be burned. So keep that in mind. If you run into a Blaziken on the ladder, do not use Will-O-Wisp on it. You will not be able to burn it. You cannot do that. Grass Pokemon, such as the C-Dot here. Sammerzel. Got it from Germany. So maybe that's just its German name. I don't know. Grass Pokemon, theirs is a little... it's not really harder to understand, but it's a little more detailed. Grass Pokemon cannot be affected by powder moves, Spore, or Leech Seed. Specifically, this means you cannot use Spore, Leech Seed, Sleep Powder, Stun Spore, or Poison Powder on a grass Pokemon. Once again, whether it is solid grass such as a C-Dot, or mixed grass such as a Tropius. This thing. Tropius. Such as grass flying. So, if you're fighting a Ferrothorn, Steel Grass, can't Leech Seed that. Something you got to keep in mind. You cannot put... You just can't. You can't use... Again, I'm gonna say it one more time. You cannot use Sleep Powder, Stun Spore, Poison Powder, Leech Seed, or Spore on a grass-type Pokemon. So that's very, very important. If you have a Spore user on your team and the enemy team has a grass Pokemon, predict them to bring it because they're probably going to use it as a switch-in to take your Spore. So keep that in mind. Something you got to watch out for. Electric Pokemon, such as this Electrike right here. In this generation, electric Pokemon cannot be paralyzed in any way. Thunder Wave is one of them, but I believe Body Slam? There's a couple normal moves, normal type moves, that also have a chance to cause paralysis. I believe Body Slam is one of them. I could be wrong. You don't really see many of those like physical normal moves used in competitive, so I don't know them too well. But no matter what the source is of the Paralyze Hex, you cannot get a Parahex on an electric Pokemon. It cannot happen. They are immune to it. So same thing with switching in Grass Pokemon to Spores. Someone predicts a Thunder Wave, they might bring in an electric Pokemon. So watch out for that. Ghastly is going to be good because we can use him for 2 examples. Now, Ghost Pokemon, I believe, have the most confusing immunity in Gen 6. Ghost Pokemon cannot be trapped onto the field by moves such as Mean Look, Block, and Scary Face. No, I think Scary Face lowers your stat. I can't remember some of the other ones. But like Block and Mean Look, moves like that keep a Pokemon from being able to switch out, Ghost Pokemon can always escape. I'm pretty sure that moves such as Shadow Tag and Arena Trap do not count. Meaning, if there's a Ghost Pokemon on the field and you switch in a Dugtrio, I believe you can still trap it in the field. I think they are only immune to moves like Block and Mean Look or Scary Face. Can't remember which. I'm sorry, guys. Can't remember if it's Mean Look or Scary Face. One of those 2 traps the Pokemon onto the field. You cannot trap Ghost Pokemon. Also using Ghastly as an example with Poison Pokemon. Poison Pokemon cannot be poisoned in any way from anything. Not by Toxic Orb, not by Poison Jab, not by Toxic. Again, I'm not going to keep saying the switch-in thing. By this point, you get it. If you see a Poison-type Pokemon, do not try to poison it. Do not hope for the poison. You cannot get poison on them. And for the last one, this one you don't see too common, but Ice Pokemon such as Jinx here. Ice Pokemon cannot be frozen. So what is it, like a 10% chance on like Ice Beam and stuff like that? That will never work. The reason why I say this one isn't so important is because there are no moves that you use that just freeze. Like how Toxic poisons, Will-O-Wisp fires, burns, etc., etc. There is no move that you use and then it freezes. There are just moves that have a chance to freeze. But still, it's just good to know. Don't be hoping for that freeze hacks on the enemy if they're ice, because you're not going to get it. That's just how it is. I hope this is helpful. This is mainly aimed towards people who are brand new, because I imagine that by this point, people who are already competitive know these things. But since I was seeing a lot of people use moves such as in Let's Do It Live 3, my opponent Jared used a Thunder Wave onto a Pokemon, though it was a different situation. It was a ground Pokemon, and we'll go over that in episode 2. Sorry guys, there's like crazy dirt. Oh, I knocked the camera on. Oops. Oh gosh. Well, I guess the video's almost over. It doesn't matter. Though it was a different situation, it did make me realize that there might be people who don't fully understand this yet. And so I wanted to go ahead and just make a short video explaining it. Again, guys, I'm doing a lot of breeding. If you guys are curious, actually, what I was doing, I'll show you here. Bam. I made a Rotom Heat named Mittens to help my team deal with the Mawiles, because those of you who've been watching my battle series know that I run Mega Metacham, Garchomp, and Goodra on my main team, and those are all fairy weak. And the main fairy that's giving me problems right now is, in fact, Mega Mawile, and so I made a Mawile killer. Literally was designed specifically to fight Mawiles, as you might be able to tell by looking at my stats, and you can kind of guess my EV spread. And that was the point. So, okay, guys, I hope you had a wonderful day. I hope this video was informative. I'm sorry it's so short. Again, I'm trying to get breeding in. I do have an AM shift tomorrow. I still have another Pokemon I wanted to finish for my team. And I will talk to you guys soon with the type immunities tomorrow night. All right, goodbye.